Now, let's go to one of the favorite positions that the Spanish are going to introduce, and that is the missionary position. Christianization of native peoples is going to occur alongside the material conquest of central Mexico. It is under a system known as corregimiento. And basically what's going to happen is native communal agricultural lands are going to be controlled by the crown, and they're going to be protected by the church against the aggrandizement of private interests operating under what are known as the encomienda and repartimiento systems. So here's where chapter 1 becomes valuable for you students, because you will understand and appreciate how the formation and control of labor forces is going to occur with the Spanish. Missions helped in the process of changing native peoples into Spanish-speaking workers. Now get to understand that. Missions not only introduced religious instruction, but they also provided technical guidance for new occupational productions. So when you go into a mission, there was a tremendous amount of activities that were occurring in a mission because it's transforming native peoples into Spanish-speaking workers. Please understand that. That's what the mission system was all about. So when you go into a mission, there was different kinds of occupations. There was crafts, weaving, candle making, and then most importantly, wineries. There was the learning of animal husbandry. You had to learn how to deal with cattle, horses, pigs, sheep. And then most importantly, the celebration of religious events with musical instruments that the native peoples are going to really appreciate. The fiddle, the accordion, the harp, the harpsichords. Priests usually maintained a central mission at a key site and initiated visits to outlying villages. And the success in central Mexico, the success of the mission system in central Mexico led colonial administrators to incorporate the mission system as part of a colonization movement north. And the plan included sending missionized Indians with priests to accompany colonists venturing north. And the migrations would be protected by military squadrons. Now, one of the things that's going to be important in the Spanish mission and the Spanish expansion to the north is this great revolt known as the Pueblo Revolt of 1680. And it's going to bring colonization to a standstill because this revolt is going to reverberate throughout all of Europe. Europe is going to realize that they need to approach their colonization programs differently because native peoples will not tolerate the racialization process. And so the Great Pueblo Revolt of 1680 is going to encourage colonial administrators to proceed in a different direction with regards to colonizing the North. And given the violence that occurred from the Pueblo Revolt of 1680, a three-pronged approach is going to be implemented. And that three-pronged approach was mission, presidio, pueblo. Now, ideally, intensive religious activity would methodically subject native peoples to missionary control, thereby modifying their economy, social structure, culture, and religious beliefs, preparing them for entry into Spanish society. Meanwhile, mission centers and missionaries would be protected by armed forces who would coerce, when necessary, the people into a receptive attitude. So theoretically, social religious conversion and military protection would open up the lands to and provide labor forces for mining, ranching, agricultural enterprises, and they would create trading opportunities for merchants. The result would be market activity, the rise of civil settlements near the missions and presidios, and gradual rule and domination by Spain. It was a program of directed cultural change. It was a program of planned assimilation. So in theory, the mission would function as a commercial center, as an educational center, as an agricultural center. And thereby it would attract native peoples to it and settle them down to a Spanish-oriented lifestyle. So mission life can be characterized as a process of turning native peoples into workers for the expanding Spanish colonial market. Native peoples entering a mission site were trained by missionaries or Indians that had already been Christianized that were recruited from the south to the north for a variety of occupations. And so this is what was occurring within the mission. You needed catechists, you needed interpreters, herders, stock raisers, ranchers, blacksmiths, carpenters, muleteers, ox drivers, bakers, rope makers, painters, orchardists. That's just to name a few of the occupations within a mission. They also had to learn handicraft production and adobe construction. Now, once missions are established, directed change initiated, and presidios installed, native communities would pave the path for contact with colonial society, which would penetrate the region through ranching, mining, merchant exchange, and the establishment of haciendas and landed estates. This was the plan.